Okay. So today's topic is function and overloading. So when we say function, what it is? Function is any code block. So I'm not going to the theoretical definition of function. Function is anything like which is a block of code, right? So let's say we can say statements, command, anything you can use this word, right? It's like bunch of statement and command, and you put it in curly braces, right? That is called functions. Why we need functions? Because there is a definite purpose we want to achieve with any function. So for example, I want to add two numbers. So how I'll make the function? Public void add, and the function name is add, and this will perform some kind of addition, right? Obviously there will be some kind of addition. This name is given by us, this add. You can give any name. I can give sum, add, anything. We are giving some meaningful name so that it will be clear that what this function does. It's like this. So functions are required to modularize your program. You can write your program in a systematic way then, right? So because let's say if there are 1,000 lines in a program and you want to write everything on main function, then it will be difficult to manage, right? Other way is I'll write a main function and I'll write all the required code here itself, right? All 1,000 lines. But then it will be difficult to manage this code. You will not remember which block is doing what. So for example, let's say line number 34 to line number 56 is for calculating something, accepting the values, and then line number 57 to line number 428 is doing something else, right? A big program or software, it does lot of things. So obviously there are a lot of things which one program will do, but then it will be difficult to manage. So it's better to segregate it, or again like divide it through functions. Okay? So we'll see one such example. So function demos, we were already seeing it. Let's do something here again. Same example, we were seeing that student thing, right? And employee detail, we were already seeing it. So let's take this classical student example again, and we'll see that what is called like function and what is when we say overloading, what is overloading. So let's make a new class today. New class. I'm giving the name of this class as, let's say, stud. Okay, and there is main function. So we are using Eclipse, and because there are some people who have joined today, let me describe like what we have done till now. The thing is, we have started with introduction, how to install, like configure Java, and how to work on Eclipse, and then we did like variable and types, conditional statements, arrays, loop we did. Then we are on function. We have seen objects. So till now we are here where we are discussing about objects and function. Okay. And to learn till now, what you can do is you can have this w3schools.com, and from here there's a learn Java part. From here you can systematically learn topic by topic all these things about Java. And it's a basic thing, but you should do it like honestly, because these are the things which will help you when you start on Selenium, or any in future, whenever you will learn any automation tool or new scripting, right? You'll be able to easily write it if you know Java. Okay, so let's see those things now. Okay, so we are making a fresh program. I have made one class, and this is public static void main, the main function. Here we are declaring some variables. So let me declare it like int roll number and string name, let's say. And I said that let's take 4 subjects. So Hindi, English, science, I'm putting out small case, English, science, and maths, HESM. There are 4 double variables I have taken, so that I'll take the marks of these subjects. Let's declare something called total also. Let's declare what percentage. Okay, per I am writing just per. That's fine. What else? Let's declare char grade, which will be based on the percentage. And if I want to write out what is the objective of this program, is actually accepting all details, right? Actually all marks I should write, and then calculate total and print, let's say, mark sheet, something like this, a full-fledged program to do all these things, right? So how we should think, what should be our approach when this kind of program, this kind of problem is there? So what we can do is we should think, okay, how many variables will be there? So here obviously, if I want to have a student class, then there will be a roll number to identify the student, then name, and there may be other variables also like section and address, city, anything, phone number. As of now we are just taking roll number and name. And then there are these variables that, okay, H indicates here the subjects actually. HESM is Hindi, English, science, maths. Total we have taken, percentage we have taken, grade we have taken. So spelling of grade is not correct. Grade. Now we have a main function. So actually in main function, the standard way is in the main just creation of the object and calling of the function should be there. So I'm writing stud s is equals to new stud. What this will do, I described last time that when you create one object like this, it will create a memory space, and all these variable will go with that instance. Right? That's why these variables are called instance variables. These all variables which you have declared at class level are called instance variables. These are not local variables. These are instance variables. So whenever you create an object, these variables will go with this object. So this object will have its own roll number, its own name, its own all this variable. Now I'll simply write s dot accept. So now we are making some functions actually. Now we are making some function. Class and instance variable both are same. Class level variables are called instance variables. So s dot accept values. Okay. And once we will accept the value, what else we want to do it. So after accepting the value, we want to calculate total. That may be a one function, or it's not required. Accept value, and then I want to do display student detail. Okay, and there is another function s dot display mark sheet. Something like this. Okay. So see, we have not made anything, like no coding we have done to perform all this function, but still it's a complete main function. Why? Because in the main function, so it's like when there are a big project, right? How it works, or when there is a big what we say, a big project or a particular module where you want to develop a lot of things. What happens in reality is different functions are created and the developers are assigned to that. Okay, developer 1 will do work on all accepting the values. Developer number 6 will do all displaying part, the UI part. Developer number 5 will do like calculating the mark sheet and displaying it, right? It's like this. So main function work is done. It's like this. Now we have to think about how we have to take the values, right? What will be the other function, how we have to write it. So first function I have written accept values. So let's define it, that it's a call part. Whatever we have written is defined part. So somebody is asking what is the difference between local variable and instance variable. So the thing is, if I declare here int x is equals to 5, so this will be called local variable of this function. This will be called local variable of main function. So whenever I'll make a new function, so I'm creating one function called accept values. If I'm creating it here and I write x is equals to 50. So can I access x in the accept values function? No. Why? Because x is defined or declared at main function, right? And its scope is within this curly braces. Its scope is within this curly braces. Outside this, nobody knows what is x. That's why it is showing me an error. So x, scope of x is limited. So this is called local variable. Okay.
Here are the top search results.
And global variable, we'll see later on. Actually, there is no concept of like global variable concept was there in C language, right? Here, every variable has a type of, means it's well defined. Something is called class level variable, function level variables, static variables, right? Public variables. In those terms, we should talk. Main function, it's not like main function is the function where execution starts, right? It will always be there. Main function, if there is a Java program, right, and you are executing as an application, so main function will always be there, right? It's like this. There is no hard and fast rule that all the functions call will be inside the main only. Function can be called from anywhere. But this is just one such example where we have a main function and we are calling something. Okay, let's come back to the point where we have to complete it about accepting these values. Okay. Yeah, so main function. I'll take all your questions, maybe last 10 minutes. Please keep your questions maybe in notepad or somewhere, right? Because it is distracting me as of now to take different questions, right? Let's understand first what we are going to achieve here. So there are accept values. So here I'll be writing code to accept the values. So probably like we already did last time to take the values through scanner classes, right? So, and I said that we will do it through buffered reader, right? Why not search somewhere that what is the syntax of buffered reader? Buffered reader syntax. I'm just searching in Google, and this is the way actually we work. It's I don't remember exact syntax for buffered reader how it works, right? I know how it works, but exact spelling maybe I don't remember it. I know how it works. So actually this is for reading with the file. I want to take it from the what we say from the command line. So this is the way to declare it actually. So we will be taking values. So this is the way you should declare your buffered reader. So input stream reader R is equals to new input stream reader system.in. Buffer reader BR is equals to new buffered reader, and inside that you are passing R. So these two lines are required if you want to take the values from the command line at the runtime. It's like this. What is buffer reader? Buffer reader is actually a class in Java. What it does is buffer is some kind of rough copy. Buffer is some kind of rough copy. I'm telling you in a different way. So at the runtime, whatever will be coming as a keystroke from system, right, from your keyboard, it will store it on the buffer. It's like this. That's why we have to declare it here. What is your input stream? My input stream is actually will come from system input. And once we have object of that input stream, we are saying that, okay, whatever will come from the input stream, put it into the buffer. It's like this. Okay. So we will ask, okay, we'll not ask anything. We'll just say enter roll number and what else? Roll number and name. Okay, we'll ask these two things. So you can relate it with scanner how we did. Actually, it's more or less same. So here you have to write what is the roll number, right? Roll number is equals to control C. I'm doing br dot, sorry, br dot read. Oh, read will take an integer. We'll check whether it will work or not. So it's saying me some issue, unhandled exception, add throws exception. And always check whenever we are writing a function, br.read, what it does, right? br.read, what it does. So check it, br.read in Google. If you write, then you should get it, what it does. So yeah, because it was accepting it as a website. That's why it was showing some error. So buffer reader dot read, what it does, so you can use it like this. I'm just checking. Okay. Can we use it to take the integer? Yeah. Somebody is saying integer dot parseInt we should do, but that's with a different case. I'm just checking what buffer dot read does, right? So you should read an article if you are, anytime if you are like stuck with what this does, right? Actually, you should read it. We have to make an habit of reading different blogs or websites sometimes to understand it. Okay, actually br.read is used for this purpose, right? It's like this. Though it's not a good example here. Let me take any other example. Buffer reader classes in Java. Yeah, read is a function there. So they are saying that it is therefore available as a wrapper reader whose read operation may be costly, such as file reader and this. Okay, is there an example? So I'm just saying that we should read it. The character read as an integer is range of this, this, and of this. Okay, is there an example? No. The read line example is we are just trying it here, right? So actually, I know we should not use br.read. We should use br.readline. Okay, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. So readline is a function. Whatever you will put at the runtime, it will be considered to be taken as string, and then you can convert it to. If you want to convert it to integer, you can convert it. It's like this. Okay. So what I'm going to write here is integer dot parse int. Okay. What this function does is whatever you will be doing, whatever you will take the value as like at buffer dot read line, right? It will be converted to integer. It's like this. Okay. So our roll number is integer or not? Let me see. Roll number is string. That's my mistake. Actually, it's a integer. Okay, no, it's fine. So roll number is taken. Then I want to take name. So name is equals to simply br.readline. Then we don't have to do anything. br.readline means scan the next value given by the user and just take it. It's like this. So let's see whether it's working fine or not. So what we will do, just print it, whatever we have taken, and whether it is printing both the things. So if it will print just after taking it, if it is printing, then it's fine, it's working. So let me comment this to function call because we have not made it. So how this will work as of now, it's like there are two functions. One function is here we have made one object and calling a accept value function. Just one function we have, and accept value will accept the values. We are taking roll number integer only, then still do we need to use parse? Yes, we need to parse because br.readline is a function which takes the values as an integer. That's why we are converting it. Sorry, it will take it as a string. br.readline is a function which will take whatever you put it on the command line as an string. We are converting that string to an integer and putting it into roll number. It's like this. Whereas when we took it the name, we didn't convert it because name is still an string. So we are just taking it, putting it into name. So let's run this program. Run as Java application. Yeah. So when we run it, it is asking enter roll number and name. So let me put 123, enter. Name I am putting testology, enter. So if you see here, it is showing me 123 and testology, right? Because we took these two values and now Once we accepted it, we are printing the both the things. So it's working fine. It's working fine on taking values. Okay. So once we take it, let's take other values also. Okay. What are the other values? We want to take Hindi, English, science, and maths thing, right? So why not say again like it's like okay, so here we will say enter marks for subjects in the English, science, maths, something like this. Okay, and once you say it, you have to accept it, right? There is no specific reason here that we are using buffered reader today instead of scanner. Through scanner also we can take these values. So somebody was asking yesterday that what is the other way. That's why we are taking it in another way, and this is a standard way to take the values. Generally scanner are not used. Buffer reader is widely used. Okay. So now we are taking the marks for subject Hindi, English, science, and maths. So simply we'll do h is equals to same thing, because there is a just one function. We are using br.read line. This will read whatever you will give. So if you see the last output, it was like we put it as an input. So every line is a kind of input, right? And br.read line is the standard way to read the whole line. Once you read it, then you think, okay, you want to convert it to integer, or whether you want to take it as a double, right? So h is actually double. So there is a function called double dot parse double, and you will say br.read line. Here, done. I'm copying this line. Once you understand, it's just copy paste. Hindi, you know, then English, then maths, and then science. You took all these 4 values. Now what? This is just for the acceptance, right? So done. Because the input will be this: roll number, name, Hindi, English, science, and maths. Total, percentage, and grade will be based on what is your total, correct? So if I want to make a function to display student detail, right? We have to make a function to display student detail. Let's make that function. What I did, I just hover over it, and it was showing me the some suggestion that you can create this function. So I just clicked on it, and it has created for me. Display student detail will just display the student detail. So let's print it. System.out.println roll number is equals to roll num. And what else you want to show? We want to show the name. Name is equals to name. Done. So let me delete it from here, because we want to accept only. Right? This function is to just accept it, just to accept all the inputs. Okay. And once you have those, you want to display the student detail, right? It's up to you whether you want to call this function or not, right? If it is called, it will perform its own thing. If you don't want to call, don't call it. Somewhere if you want to use, right, that you want to know, okay, what is the roll number of the student S, right? Then you will just call it. It's like this. Okay, what else? So we want to do display mark sheet. So let's create that method now. display mark sheet will do something. So first thing which I am able to think is it will perform the total. So H plus Hindi plus English plus Maths plus Science, something like this. And how to calculate the percentage? So percentage will be, I think, total divided by 100. Am I right? Total divided by 400. Yeah, because there are 4 subjects and they are considering, let's say, that every subject is of 100 marks. Every exam was, let's say, of 100 marks. So this is the way to calculate the percentage. And based on the, what we say, this percentage will decide the grade. Okay? So we'll say if percentage is greater than equal to 80, then grade is A. Okay, and we have to then repeat this. Something like if percentage is greater than equal to 60 and percentage is less than 80, then the grade will be B. If the percentage is greater than equal to 40 and percentage is less than 60, then the grade is C. And the last one you should write, if percentage is less than 40, then grade is fail, something like this. Done, but we didn't display anything. This is just the calculation. So we should display it now. So to display it, you can do this thing, right? I can, whenever this display call, I'll call this first, which will just print the name and this. So one function can be called from another function. See, this is display mark sheet. What I am doing, I'm calculating something and then saying, okay, let's print the name and roll number first, right? And then we'll display our own details. So maybe here I can write that total is equals to plus total variable. And what else you want to print? You want to print the grade and percentage also. So let's print it. So we want to print the percentage is actually PER and grade is grade. Right, done. How this will work, let's understand from here. We made a class, these variables we declared, and it's not like one-time job. It's not like you have to declare everything at one shot, think about the program, declare it. Whenever it is required, you can add it, right? There can be trial and error. There can be, you understand when you make a function, oh, actually I forgot, there should be a percentage variable to calculate the percentage. So later on, also you can, put the percentage variable and then again correct your program. Student S is equals to new student S dot accept value we called. This function, what this will do, it will just accept the values. So if I want to see the definition, you can just click on control and put your mouse here and click here. So it will jump to that function definition. So this is the way to take all the values like roll number, name, and all other values, right? And let's go back to main function. Then we are calling display student details. So display student detail is actually what it is doing. It is just displaying roll number and name. Okay. what else? We are calling display mark sheet. So display mark sheet is doing its own thing, like calculating the total, then percentage, and then based on this if else. We have not written any else, right? There are different ways to write the same thing here, but I have used a very simple one to just segregate it. Okay, percentage greater than 80, then do this thing. If it is in this range, then do this thing. Then display student detail I called. So just to show you that a function can be called from another function, that's fine. Function is a reusable independent function. You can, if it is made, it will do its own work, and it will come back. It's like this. So what we did here is call this function, so it will do its own task to print roll number and name, and we are continuing on printing other things. So let's run this program, and then we will understand what is happening. Roll number and name, so I'm putting 23. Name is any random name. I'm writing Rohan, and enter marks. So I'm putting the marks as, let's say, 45, 56, 67, and 78. And I'm clicking on enter. Once I clicked on the enter, it is showing me Rohan, roll number and name. It is printing roll number and name again because we called it twice. Then there is a total percentage. Based on the percentage, grade value is there. So this is the way we should write object-oriented programs, where you create the object and then you call a particular function. So this is just one way recap. We already did it yesterday for calculating salary and all, right? For the employee class. Let's see a little bit about function overloading. So I'm creating a new class here. So what we will do here is we'll take two values and we'll do something. Right? Let's take some values from the user first. So I'm writing, let's use the buffer readers again, because we should make an habit of writing in this particular way. That's why I'm taking. You can take a scanner also. That's also fine. So I want to take enter sides of rectangle, something like this. And there will be two variable, let's say int length and breadth, let's say, or height and width, right? Height and width. So why it is showing an error? So this breed line throws an exception, right? This statement is throwing an exception because while reading there may be exception related to input output. So whenever you see this kind of warning or error as of now, you just select add throws declaration, right? I'll explain you what it is later on when we'll read about the exception. Then int width is equals to the same thing we want to take. So this time, if you see, I have not declared any class level variable. Everything we are doing on the main function. That's fine. You can have class level variables or local variable, whatever you want to take. As of now, I have taken just this two variable at function main. Now, once we have it, I want to make a function called area, right? Calculate area. Okay. Sorry. This is a function, and I'll pass this height and width to this function. Okay, there is one function which will calculate the area. Okay, so let's create this method which will have A and B here and what it will do, what is the area calculation function if you pass these two values? It's very simple, right? And C is equals to height into width, and you will probably print it then that okay, area is equal to C. It's very simple one. We have taken two values and then passing to a function, right? We are calling a function, passing these two values, and this function call is here. This function definition is here. H will go to A, W will go to B, and then we are doing integer C is equals to A cross B, which will be doing multiplication, and we are showing it. This is a formula to calculate the area of rectangle, something like this. Okay, fine. Now, there are different shapes. So there may be another thing. Let's say enter the what we say radius of circle. Okay, and let's take those values. How we can take again like this. I'll take radius integer. I'm declaring r here. You can take any variable. And once we take r, it's showing me an error. Why? Rename r. Did we take? Oh, r is already used here. That's why I cannot use r. So I'm using, let's say, the proper radius, a big name. Then I want to create a function, calculate area. Now, calculate area function is already there, right? But area is also there for circle also. So what to do? Should I make a new function called calculate area of circle? One way I can make it, I'll make calculate area of circle, and then I'll pass this radius, and that function will do its own thing. So I'll make calculate area of circle. What will do? It will simply I'm writing it double area is equals to, what is the value of pi? So pi is 22 by 7.0. That is pi. Pi r square is the formula. So I'm doing it multiplied by, let's make it rad, right? So rad into rad, right? So done. System.out.println the same thing, like you printed previously the area, right? So you are printing it now. Area of circle is plus area, right? So this is one way of doing it. But the thing is, why we are making the calculate area of circle, and then there will be thousands of different functions. Calculate area of square, calculate area of different things, right? So if you want to use the same function name, you can use it, and that is called what we say is function overloading. Okay, this program will work. I'm not running it. I'm just showing you that instead of using calculate area of function, I'll use the same name, calculate area, and I'll pass one value here. But then it will show me an error. It's saying that there is the method calculate area is in type overloading demo is not applicable to the argument int. What it is saying actually that you're passing one variable here, one value here, and actually there is a calculate area function which accepts two values. So it's wrong. It's saying no, it won't work because there is no function which is available to take just one value. So actually we'll make a new function. So we are making it with the same name. This time just one value we will accept, and this code, I'm just copying it here. So this code will be like this, a into a, and that's it. So if you observe here, both the function name is calculate area and this function name is also calculate area. But this but computer will not get confused, or the Java system will not get confused, because this function, when you're calling it, you're passing two values. So at the runtime, it will find out, okay, actually calculate area is a function here, and which function it has to call, whether this one or this one, it will check, okay, it will call this because these accepts two values. Okay, so it will call this one, 36th line one. And if you call just with one value, then it will call this function. It's like this. So there may be many functions here, like maybe when you are calculating of area of different things, you can make different functions. This is just one example for overloading. Let's understand more things about overloading. Overloading is just not about using the same function name within a class. The thing is, you can have different type of parameter, different number of parameters, and different sequence for the parameter. Okay. So overloading concept actually we'll see tomorrow as well, because we have to understand it clearly. As of now, just understand it, that how system works. It's like it doesn't get confused. There is no ambiguity, because this function calculate area, where you pass two values, so it will call this one where it accepts two values. If you pass one value, then it will call this one. So that is called overloading, and that is also called one of the concept for object oriented programming is polymorphism. So this is static polymorphism. So one of the example for static polymorphism is overloading concept. Okay. Why it is called static polymorphism? Because it is pre-decided that which function will call what even before running the program. Can you explain polymorphism and then relate overloading? No. So this is actually the way to understand it. We are going in a correct way actually, that to understand the concept of, I don't want to go it like a definition way that polymorphism means this, and there are different functions, and you have to understand in a practical way that here we created two different functions, right? In a sense that how it works. So here the implementation is different. What we say, the implementation part is different. The formula for calculating area when you are passing one value is different, and when you pass two values, it's doing something different, right? But the function name is still calculate area. We'll see more things tomorrow about overloading.